So good morning, students. We are here again in the next lecture of control system and PLC. Today, our topic is analog input and output model. So first of all, we'll discuss about the analog input model. So in previous lecture, we have discussed about discrete input output model. So discrete consists of AC as well as DC input output model. So obviously today we are going to cover the next topic, that is analog input output model. The working of this is again similar to discrete input output model. Just the difference is the previous input was discrete, it means it is discrete input output was slightly different than analog input model. Just the difference is just that discrete means it is having the confirmed cases of input, that is whether it is 5 volt, that is logic 1 or logic 0. Though the input is AC or DC, but still the output of it, that is the logic output, is either binary 0 or binary 1. But here the input is analog input, means the state is not confirmed. So it is changing from point to point, means it can slightly increase, it can slightly decrease. So you have to record every change in the input. Okay, so that's why some difference is there in the processing. Obviously, here we will require the analog to digital converter. In previous case, we were directly converting from AC to DC, and directly we are checking the voltage level by using threshold detector. So if threshold is above certain value, then the input is considered as logic 1, and if the voltage is below some threshold, then we consider that as logic 0, that is binary 0. Now here we have to record every change in the input output. So obviously we are using D to A converter, A to D converter. So we'll study it in brief. Okay, so we will start. So see here the analog input module. Okay, so here where my arrow is indicated, here you are giving the analog input, analog, not AC. I'm saying analog input. So analog input which is given to this noise and debounce filter. What is the main function of the noise debounce filter? When input is provided to the PLC through analog input output or analog input module, it reaches in different noise signal. So using noise and debounce filter, the input signal is made noise free. Getting? Because obviously when suppose one sensor is there which is analog in nature, that is giving some output in the form of analog. So obviously we know that the sensor output is not directly used. We have to pass it through the amplifier. So amplifier, what it does, it amplifies the signal. But obviously when amplification is done, so there are some low voltage noises there, that is also amplified by the amplifier, because amplifier does not recognize signal only. Whatever input is coming to it, it amplifies all that signal. So here we are amplifying signal as well as noise. So we have to remove that noise. We don't let it go to the PLC. So noise and debounce filter removes out all the noise which is passing through the input. So this filter removes all the noise and debounces. Okay, and then output is given to the A to D converter. So obviously A to D converter is nothing but what? Analog to digital converter. So analog to digital converter will convert this analog input which is coming at the input into digital form. So digital form means not DC, it is binary forms. So it is a stream, 8-bit stream, 10-bit stream, 12-bit stream. So if suppose you are getting 2 volt at the input, that 2 volt is converted into binary form. If some voltage increases to 2.2 volt, then binary value changes. It is not DC, digital. See, DC and digital, these are different things. DC means constant. Digital means the conversion of analog to digital form in terms of binaries. You have studied it in other subjects also, the conversion of A to D. Okay, so there are many types of A to D converters. Many resolution of A to D converters are there. Again, the bit values of every A to D converter is different. So depending upon the application, you can select that A to D converter. Then you will convert this analog wave, analog input into the digital form. So at the output of A to D converter, you will get the bit stream. Bit stream, not directly DC value, bit stream. That bit stream for single input, the value of bits, the number of bits may be different, 8 bits, 10 bits for single input. So that bit stream is given to optical isolation. We have already studied in many types that what is the optical isolation. So optical isolation provides the isolation between input device and the CPU port. Correct? So input device and CPU port isolation is provided by using optical isolation. So optical isolation, the isolation between the optical isolation between the input device as well as PLC. Okay, so there are optocouplers are there. There are optocouplers are there. So these optocouplers, what it does, optocouplers, what it does, optocouplers generally the LEDs are there and transistors are there. So when binary 1 is given to LED, LED will transmit light. That light will fall on the phototransistor. So phototransistor will convert that light in the form of electricity again. Correct? So binary 1 is produced at the output of phototransistor. So similarly, every bit is converted from light to electricity and electricity to light. But value does not change. One is transmitted, one is received. Zero is transmitted, zero is received. Just we are providing the electrical isolation. Okay. So optical isolation does that function. Then signal is given to the binary bit stream is given to the logic circuit. Now what logic circuit will obviously do? Logic circuit will check the binary levels of the signal. Means it will record every bit. It will record every bit. Whatever binary is coming, it will check its threshold voltage. If it is above than 3 or 3.2 volt, it will consider it as binary 1. If it is less than 1.8 volt, it will consider it as logic 0. So these signals are recorded by logic circuit. Means it is nothing but some type of memory. The flip-flops may be there. So that logic circuit will record that binary bit stream, every bit stream. If suppose after some time the temperature is increased, so obviously the our sensor output voltage will change. So obviously the logic circuit receive the another bit stream. Then that a stored signal is given to the CPU. So what CPU does? CPU obviously does the processing on input. So input is processed by the CPU now. Okay. So obviously in logic solver, program is there. According to program, the logic is solved, and then whatever status is generated about input, that is given to the data table. So data table, what it does, it records the status of the input. Means एक नंबरच्या इनपुटला काय स्टेटस आहे, 2 नंबरच्या इनपुटला काय स्टेटस आहे, 3 नंबरच्या इनपुटला काय स्टेटस आहे. All these status values are recorded by the data table. So in this way, this signal is converted from analog to digital. Okay, getting? So logic section allows digital signal to the CPU, and on the data table that signal is stored for the further use. Okay, so this is your analog input module. I hope it is clear. Please reply fastly on the chat box. Is there any doubt? Reply me in the chat box. Okay. Okay. So now the analog input module is clear. So we'll go from the analog output model. So wait, I'll just draw the block diagram quickly. So as you can see, this is the block diagram of analog output model. Okay. So output model convert control instruction from CPU into digital or analog signal that can be used to the control various field output devices like actuators, control valves are there, motors are there. Again, analog output module accept a 16-bit output status word. What I told you in input module, bit stream is there. That bit stream may be 8-bit, 10-bit, 12-bit, or 16-bit. Similar output in the form of bit stream is generated by the CPU. So CPU generates 16-bit or 8-bit, 12-bit output, and that output is accepted by the analog output module. Then this analog output module converts the digital binary output in the form of analog value. So that analog value can be 0 to 10 volt, minus 10 to plus 10 volt, 0 to 5 volt, 1 to 5 volt, or say suppose minus 20 milliampere to plus 20 milliampere, means not in terms of voltage only, in terms of current it can also convert. Again, it can convert from 4 milliampere to 20 milliampere, etc. So depending upon the use, you can convert it into any value. Okay, so analog output module are selected to send out either a varying current or varying voltage. Each value of current or voltage will represent a particular operation. So for example, if you consider one, say suppose a DC motor is there. If the speed of DC motor is to be varied, then what we have to do? We have to change the voltage value or the current value which is supplying to the DC motor. So if we have to change the speed, then obviously we have to change the RPM. And suppose that DC motor is having RPM around 100 RPM to 300 RPM. So the voltage of an output module will range from 0 volt to 10 volt DC, which will represent the specific speed of the value. So if one analog output module is there which can vary voltage from 0 to 10 volt. So if you apply 1 volt, the RPM will be less. If you apply 5 volt, RPM will increase. If you apply 10 volt, RPM will be maximum. So depending upon application, you can choose any output module and the output device. So see here how it will work. So here where I'm showing the cursor point, here the bit stream will be generated, that is given to CPU. CPU will give that bit stream to the output table. So output table will record that value. Okay, means for say suppose cell number 1, some value of output, for cell number 2 different value of output, for cell number 3 different value of output. So output status table will record that output values. Now that bit stream is then given to D2A converter. So this D2A converter, you know, that does the exactly opposite function to A to D converter. A to D converter is at the input side, D2A converter at the output side, because we know that output of CPU is digital and it is converted to the analog form by using D2A converter. So analog output which is generated, that may be voltage, that may be current, or variation of voltage or variation of current. It is then given to the output field device. So output field device now is nothing but the device which is to be controlled. So in this way, analog output module works. Correct. So this is your analog output module. Any doubt in the here, Aditya?
Sir, can you repeat output table?
Okay. So output table is nothing but, see, we know that there is an input module, there is output module. Correct. What is the main function of input output module? Whatever number of inputs are there, what is the current status of that inputs, that is updated in the input module. In previous lecture, we have already studied that how CPU processes the cycle. First of all, it scans all the input, and then the status of input is given to input module, and then CPU take the data from input module, not directly from the input device. Similarly, output module records the status of each output device which is to be changed. म्हणजे जे काही आउटपुट तुमचं सीपीयू जनरेट करतोय ते डायरेक्टली डिव्हाइसला पास ऑन होत नाही, तर ते आउटपुट मॉड्यूल मध्ये रेकॉर्ड राहतं. सो आउटपुट मॉड्यूल मध्ये म्हणजे कुठे, तर आउटपुट टेबल मध्ये. सो
Okay.
output table keeps record of status of every output device. Means if the first cell is not updated, means you don't have to update the status of output. If third cell is updated by the CPU, means पहिले ऑन होती आता तिला ऑफ करायचं म्हणून स्टेटस अपडेट झालं. Then that status is passed on to the output field device. Means input output model is nothing but it is a mediator between input device, output device, and CPU. Input directly does not take input from device. It takes input from input table and it generates output. That generated output is not directly given to output devices. It is first given to the output table.
Yes.
Then updated likewise. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So this is your analog output module. So hope now this is clear to all. If anybody having doubt, you can ask. So this is it for today's lecture.